Marvel Studios dropped this epic Phase 4 teaser trailer video hype reel, and we got to talk more about it. BD here, and right now we're going to dive into this Phase 4 video that said, forget coffee on Monday morning. Marvel Studios has you fired up. I mean, we got everything. We got everything except Blade. One day. But we're going to start with Eternals because I know that's a property a lot of people are excited for and a lot of people are unfamiliar with. The big takeaway for me from this Eternals footage is the fact that this movie is, as they promised, split across two majorly different times. We first see Salma Hayek as Ajax. She's dressed in clothes that look like they're from the modern day, and we see more of that in the shot of the group in this kind of camp or wherever they are in the woods. From left to right, that's Kumail Nanjiani as Kingo, Leah McHugh as Sprite, Gemma Chan as Cersei, who you might recognize from Captain Marvel, but we're not going to talk about how she played a different character in the MCU. Now she's Cersei, and that's all that matters. Richard Madden as Icarus, Angelina Jolie as Athena, and Barry Keoghan as Gilgamesh. This all looks modern day based on how they're dressed, and also there's a cameraman in the frame. And that's not a mistake, actually. I don't think this is like a Mandalorian thing where a crew member showed up. I think this is intentional. Kingo, Kumail Nanjiani's character, is a famous Bollywood star in the MCU. So I think this might be like a documentary, or maybe like they're just kind of following him. We get another shot of Eternals as a group in what looks like a castle setting from thousands of years ago. It gives us our first look at Lauren Ridloff's Makkari using her super speed. My big question, though, is like, where was this group when Thanos was attacking? Like, they're immortal, they're eternal, right? They've been here the whole time. Why didn't they come help the squad defend against the guy who wrecked half the universe? I think there's a clue in this trailer when Gemma Chan's Cersei says, we're the ones who changed everything. Maybe this is like a, we changed everything, we kind of tore the group apart, and that's why nobody's like working together to solve problems or something, and they're trying to like get the band back together for whatever this new threat they might be facing in Eternals is. We do get our first look at Athena getting ready for action. She makes a sword. We've heard Angelina Jolie talk about how her Athena character can make her own weapons, and we see that here, and I've seen Salt, I've seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I've seen Wanted. I'm not messing with Angelina Jolie. So if you want to talk more about Eternals, let me know. We can make a whole separate video about that, or we can talk more about it on the Phase 0 podcast. We'll have a new episode this Friday, and we're going to dive into all this footage, so I suggest subscribing to the podcast on any major podcast platform. Now let's talk about the other footage. We got Black Widow footage, and not a lot of this was new, but we did get looks that made me continue to question this green vest. Yelena is wearing the green vest. We know Natasha wears that green vest in Infinity War and dyes her hair blonde, but Yelena can't die because it's come out that she's in the Hawkeye series. I'm not so worried about her dying, but I am worried about like how the relationship is going to go. Also, Red Guardian looks really cool in action, and Taskmaster kicking up the shield. We've seen that before, but more nods to maybe Tony Masters, maybe who's ever under that mask, copying other characters from the MCU. Shang-Chi also dropped new footage, but first, shout out to the logo getting a little saucier. The dragon is starting to come through in the title art. We've seen the dragon in Lego form, we've seen it in Funko form. We know there's a dragon in this movie at some point, and now it's in the title logo, so that's cool. We also get a cool shot of Awkwafina as Katie driving a BMW. Cool product placement. Dominic Toretto would be super proud of these moves. And also Shang-Chi fighting the Death Dealer. I think the Kung Fu in this movie is going to be super dope. Some people think that this bar where a tournament is supposed to be going down or some sort of fighting action could be Madripoor. Madripoor was just introduced in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's a country in Southeast Asia. There was no connection to Shang-Chi, at least that we can tell so far, from The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so it might just be an interesting MCU world-building opportunity to connect all these characters via locations for now. We got two big announcements in the forms of titles. Black Panther sequel is going to be called Black Panther Wakanda Forever. This is a title that feels like it kind of honors Chadwick Boseman, while also it might tell us something about the story, because a lot of us think Namor is going to show up in the Black Panther sequel. This could be like a thing where everyone in Wakanda has to have an added bit of Wakanda pride, as basically the whole country is getting ready for war against Atlantis, if that's going to happen. Maybe I'm just wearing my tinfoil hat a little bit too tightly. Captain Marvel 2 also revealed its title. It's just called The Marvels, and this makes sense because you're going to have Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. You're going to have Kamala Khan, who's debuting in Miss Marvel, coming into the movie after her Disney Plus show. And you have Monica Rambeau in the show, who just got her superpowers in WandaVision. And this also prompts the questions of, like, is Blue Marvel going to show up? Is Adam Brashear going to be there? The Ultimates, Monica Rambeau has ties to that in comics, so there's always a chance that could happen here as well. And finally, we also got some release dates that we did not have before for movies we knew were coming. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. It's hitting theaters on February 17th, 2023, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is the big May 2023 movie. It's dropping in May 5th. The hype video ends on a Fantastic Four logo, which is very interesting because it doesn't give us a date. There's also no Blade date, so I was thinking Maybe Fantastic Four is like the end of Phase 4 where an Avengers movie would kind of culminate everything. Maybe this F4 is going to do that, but then where is Blade? I don't know. We also don't even have a Venom Let There Be Carnage trailer yet. Is that part of the MCU? Nobody knows. But if you want to talk more about this, hit me up on Instagram or Twitter at BrandonDavisBD. Subscribe to the Comicbook.com YouTube channel because we'll make these videos that you request in the comment section. I'll do my best to get as many of them out to break down these new movies, these trailers, get you introduced to these characters before the movies arrive in theaters. And subscribe to the Phase Zero podcast because we're going to be breaking all of this down live in Friday's episode. For more updates right now, head over to Comicbook.com/Marvel. I'm BD. I will see you there.